would you find your stones and just place them in front of you? I'm going to see if I can do this so you can see it. So I'm going to stand up. It's easier for me to show you. And you can stand up or you can stay seated but if possible, if you would not lean back, but sit upright and freely. And then you can watch me for a moment and then I'll let you do it. You would just test out a bit how, not lifting the stone, but see how it's on its surface, but not enough to lift it up. And so we'll play a little bit with this in a moment, and then eventually you will lift it up. And notice what we call it weight, but what's the actual experience if I let go of the word weight? What happens in me when I lift this stone up? Just, it can be, let's just start with a few inches. What happens in me? And then what happens when I let it down and come away? So I'll give you plenty of time after this. So just if you would just really stay with these steps, first just kind of playfully notice, is this thing glued to the ground, or what is this? It sits so clearly there. And then how much energy does it actually take, and how does it affect me? Up a bit and then down until really you let go of it and let your hand come away so you complete the movement. Would you try that? I'll give us a few minutes and I will say only a little bit. Yes, and when it yawns, it's also part of breath work to lift a stone. Perfect. So just go ahead and find out for yourself. Before we had words for it, there was experience. When we lift something up, there still is experience. Completely wordless. Just like I would let the breath come and go freely and completely, I would do this movement and complete it up and down and really let go. And you may be aware of breathing and how it affects, if it affects your breath. It's actually really important to me that you complete the movement, you really come away and let your hands come away. Just like you would let the breath, the out breath, complete itself. Or you notice how you don't. And in the same way, often we don't complete something, we kind of let go, but we're not actually completing it. We're like already on to the next. Lifting. And all that happens through me. And that process of attuning through me to this energy that's pulling on me. And the returning of the stone, passing it, giving it back, and the complete letting go of it. Maybe allow a couple of breaths in between. And if you've stayed with one hand, which I have, after you're done this time, you could switch hands. How is it here? I think we can learn a lot from a stone.
Yes.
Yeah. Not by thinking about it. We love to do that.
Yeah, we love to think of it. Yes. Everything is turned into
there's such a deep, such a deep wisdom in the actual experience of,
yes.
Oh, that's what it means to let go.
Yes.
I mean, I'm as a good Buddhist student, I constantly have to let go. And I never do. but but here, there's oh, yes. Okay, I get it. That's what it means to let go. Or to not let go. Yeah. I work with stones, and it's how I learned from Charlotte, but another Charlotte's teacher, Gindler, they actually worked with steel balls. This is a 1 kilogram steel ball. And what happens when we have stones that we get easily distracted by its beauty, by its shape. And there's nothing against that. But sometimes I think, well, I should work with balls, steel balls, because there's nothing particularly attractive, but it's very attractive to the earth. So, and we should stay with that. Oh. So the stones, they invite to all kinds of explorations of seeing it and its beauty, and and there's a lot to be said about that, But sometimes I think, now I just want you to be with this and not fall in love with the rock. Do you know what I mean? Mm. And there's something so pure about this. Pure, here it is, about this relationship. So sometimes we can see the beauty of the stone, but you could also just be focused by the beauty of its relationship. That simplicity of, yes, I give myself completely. But, you know, obviously we're not stones. We're human, living human organisms. We work differently from stones. So, it's steel balls. Anyone else? I mean, this is, for me, that's at the heart of my work. It's that separation we make is a purely mental separation. You know, I can say this stone is not alive, but it is. It's here. It's here just like I am. It's here as a stone. It's here. And that's not an idea. I can feel it. I can see it. And it is in relationship. I mean, to me, work with gravity is so central because it makes it so immediately clear how everything is in relationship all the time. And we enter relationships. I'm not just touching the stone, but I'm entering that relationship the stone has with the earth. Does that make sense? To me, that is so, so central. And we Westerners, we need to feel that, not just think about it. But it's so obvious, it's so immediately obvious if I let myself be there. And to me, I'm not Native American, and I want to be careful how I talk about that, but to me, as soon as we let ourselves sense and feel the world again, it is so obvious, that it's all interrelated. And how we treat this stone matters. It just does. It is obvious to me because it's here. Like I'm here. So. And, Laura, you said maybe something at the beginning, you were just beginning to notice breathing or something. I'm not sure of your words. And I believe, I know that I'm still just beginning. There's so much more because we're so busy in our heads. There's so much more to know and to experience and to really embody. And it can be just, it doesn't have to be a rock, it's every moment offers that opportunity. Oh, what have the two of you been up to? Oh, now I'm here too. I want to be part of this. Let's have a threesome. I want to be part of this too. And it's in a way, I don't want to philosophize, but I really feel that in a way, I feel honored that I am allowed to be in that relationship. Does that make sense? I always not just, and if some of you have seen me do the same thing with a cell phone. You could pick that phone up and immediately stare at it, or you could see, oh, look at that, even a smartphone is in this very simple relationship. And it's just going to fall if I let it go, smart as it is, So, and, I could, sometimes I try to do that, instead of immediately go for it, to say, oh, okay, you too. You too. Oh, you're just a very simple creature like a stone and a human attracted by gravity. and I can feel how it affects me, then I can look at it. So, and that's what I think is so wonderful about this sensory awareness approach, is that you can do it in 2 seconds without anybody noticing. You're like, oh, you're in a relationship. Okay, here. I just did the sensory awareness class, and now I'm on the phone. Does that make sense? We can really bring this into our daily lives in playful ways. To me, that's important. That we enjoy it. It doesn't become yet another thing we have to do. Now I have to pay attention. But oh, hi, phone. Nice to feel you. And suddenly maybe it becomes less interesting what's actually on there that we think is so absolutely fascinating. So. Well, our time is almost up. Let's just one more time go to the stone, and this time let's not lift it, but just let your eyes close, and this time feel it, how it is shaped, its texture. And maybe you do take it in your hands with closed eyes. And it's offering itself, showing itself, let itself be felt by us. So hopefully, as we go through our days, we can remember that when we touch something, anything, remember how it is connected and how we enter that connection. That's about it. And what would Charlotte say then, Charles? Remember? And so on for the next 65 years.